Welcome to our channel. Today, we're taking you on an incredible journey through time with some of the most rare and powerful historical photos you've ever seen. Each image tells a unique story, capturing moments of bravery, hardship, and human connection that have shaped our world. From poignant scenes of war to everyday life in the past, these photos are more than just images. They're windows into history. Don't miss out on these extraordinary snapshots from the past. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating historical content. Let's dive in. At the time, no one could have predicted that this small child, smiling with a toy ring in his hands, would become a rock icon adored by millions. This rare and touching photograph was taken in 1947. It features the legendary music figure Freddie Mercury with his mother, Jair Bulsara. Born Farrokh Bulsara, Freddie spent part of his childhood in India with his family. Throughout his life, his mother, Jair, was one of his most important sources of inspiration and support. In the warm embrace of his mother, Freddie, who would later win the love of millions around the world and leave an unforgettable legacy, felt safe. This striking photo, taken in 1924, reveals one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in Egypt. Renowned British archaeologist Howard Carter is seen opening the sarcophagus of the young pharaoh Tutankhamun. With this discovery, Carter not only etched his name into history, but also introduced the mysteries of ancient Egypt to the modern world. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb is considered one of the greatest archaeological events of the 20th century. Found in the Valley of the Kings, the tomb contained incredibly well-preserved treasures and artifacts. The photo shows Carter working carefully, with his Egyptian assistant witnessing this historic moment. This poignant photograph, taken in 1923 during Germany's hyperinflation period, highlights the profound impact of economic collapse on everyday life. In the photo, a woman is using money as fuel instead of wood or coal. This period, one of the darkest times for the Weimar Republic, saw money become so worthless that people preferred to burn paper money to stay warm. Post-World War I, Germany faced a severe financial crisis due to war reparations and economic uncertainties. Money printing went out of control, inflation skyrocketed, and people had to rush to spend their money. During this time, wages were paid hourly, and prices rose by the minute. The woman in the photo, living a seemingly ordinary moment, was actually witnessing one of history's most dramatic economic collapses. At first glance, this costume might seem odd, but it represents the beginning of a mascot now known and loved worldwide. This photo, taken in 1894, shows the first incarnation of the Michelin Man, bygone. The Michelin brothers, André and Edouard Michelin, were looking for a creative way to demonstrate the durability and comfort of their tires. At the time, tires, even when not mounted on vehicles, stood in large piles. During a fair, Edouard saw these piles and thought, if it had arms and legs, it would look like a person. This idea inspired the creation of bygone. This fascinating photo, taken in 1913, brings together extraordinary characters of the time. In the image, Europe's shortest, tallest, and fattest men are seen playing cards around a table. Despite their different appearances, these three men found common ground in this moment, often seen in circuses and fairs of the era. This chilling photo shows Führerbunker in Berlin, where Adolf Hitler spent his final days and ultimately committed suicide. The Führerbunker was an underground bunker built beneath the Reich Chancellery in central Berlin. Designed as a secure area for Hitler and his inner circle during the final stages of the war, it became a dark place witnessing the fall of the Nazi regime as Soviet forces advanced on Berlin. The photo depicts an abandoned and dilapidated room. The clutter on the desk reflects the despair and chaos of the war. Known as the room where Hitler committed suicide, it witnessed one of the darkest moments in history. The damage and marks on the walls show the chaos and panic in the bunker during its final days. The Führerbunker will be remembered throughout history as a symbol of World War II and the end of Hitler. This photo vividly illustrates the inevitable collapse of the ruthless leader of the Nazi regime and the end of one of the most tragic periods in human history. This striking photo, taken in the 1950s, showcases a woman reflecting the daring spirit of the era. Posing in a mask and bold outfit, this woman defies the social norms and taboos of the time. The 1950s were a period of conservative social norms in the United States and other Western countries, where women were often defined by their domestic roles, and sexuality was not openly discussed. However, this photo represents a stance against these strict norms. The photo also reflects the pin-up culture of the era, where pin-up girls gained popularity through their sexually suggestive poses in men's magazines and military posters. This culture marked the beginning of women gaining more control over their bodies and sexuality. This touching photo shows Christmas packages sent to soldiers who were killed or declared missing during World War II. The photo, taken in New York City, shows the accumulation of packages waiting to be stamped "Return to Sender." Each package contained perhaps a handmade gift, a letter, or a drawing from a soldier's child. These packages were filled with the intention of bringing happiness and morale to their recipients. However, they had to return without reaching their intended recipients. Families who prepared Christmas gifts, hoping their loved ones were alive, had to face the tragic realities of war. This photo reminds us of the deep wounds left by war, not only on the battlefield, but also at home. By shedding light on one of the darkest periods in human history, such photos emphasize the value of peace and human life. This photo captures a rare moment showing how women in the 1920s changed societal norms and gained their freedom. At the beginning of the 20th century, owning a car was generally a privilege reserved for men. However, during this period, women began to challenge gender norms by daring to own and drive cars independently. Cars provided women not only with mobility, but also allowed them to play a more active role in society and make their own decisions. This photo is not just an image of a woman with her car, but a testament to social change, freedom, and modernization. This photo, taken on February 18, 1955, shows cameramen recording the atomic explosion during the WASP prime test in Nevada. The 1950s were a time when the Cold War was intensely felt and the nuclear arms race was accelerating. The United States and the Soviet Union conducted numerous tests to demonstrate the power and potential of nuclear weapons. These tests not only showed the devastating power of the atomic bomb, but also the advancements in science and technology. In the foreground of the photo, the massive light sphere and mushroom cloud of the explosion illuminate the desert landscape dramatically, with cameramen working to capture this historic moment. The presence of these brave individuals documenting this turning point in human history is striking as the explosion's intensity and light cast a dramatic shadow over the desert landscape. This impressive photo shows Franklin D. Roosevelt, one of the future presidents of the United States, as a young man in Harvard University's rowing team in the 1900s. Roosevelt went down in history as one of America's most important leaders, but in this photo, we see him in a younger and more energetic period of his life. During his years at Harvard, Roosevelt was noted not only for his academic achievements, but also for his interest in sports. Rowing requires physical endurance, discipline, and team spirit. Roosevelt's involvement in this sport was an early indicator of the leadership qualities he would later exhibit as president. This photo, taken during the Blitz in London in 1940, shows a milkman continuing his work despite the destruction around him. The Blitz was a series of intense air raids carried out by the German Luftwaffe on England. These attacks turned cities into ruins and deeply affected the daily lives of civilians. However, this photo shows a milkman determined to continue his duties despite the difficulties. The milkman's extraordinary determination symbolizes the efforts of people to maintain their daily lives despite the war's destruction and dangers. Milk delivery was a vital service, especially for children and the elderly. Therefore, the milkman's continuation of his work under such difficult conditions is a testament to resilience and sacrifice. This iconic photo was taken during the introduction of Coca-Cola to France in 1950. The curious and astonished looks of the French men sitting at a bar reflect the excitement of encountering a new taste for the first time. In the post-World War II period, American culture's influence on Europe was rapidly increasing. Coca-Cola was seen as a symbol of the American way of life and quickly gained popularity worldwide. In a country like France, known for its traditional flavors, the arrival of Coca-Cola was a significant event. The photo tells more than just a beverage promotion. It captures the meeting of American and French cultures and its impact on people. The men gathered around the bar counter, perhaps tasting a carbonated drink for the first time in their lives, sharing this new experience. Science fiction became reality. This intriguing photo shows experimental TV glasses developed in the 1960s. The glasses aimed to make the television viewing experience portable. The head-mounted device allowed the viewer to watch television programs on a small screen in front of their eyes. Antennas were used to capture the television signal. Today, these devices may look funny and even strange, but at the time, they were exciting and promising a future. These glasses can be considered ancestors of portable media devices and virtual reality technology. Seeing the Hollywood sign change to Hollyweed might surprise you. In 1976, a prankster altered this iconic sign to celebrate California's marijuana law change. The prankster, Danny Finegood, gained widespread attention with this creative act and sparked a discussion about marijuana reforms. This event represents a moment where art and activism met, showing how people can convey their messages through powerful symbols. The Hollyweed sign remains a memorable moment where humor and activism combined in history. The excitement of a first date at a diner in the 1950s. This photo reflects the elegance and innocence of the era. The young couple, contrary to modern habits, are getting to know each other over just a soda and a heartfelt conversation. For the youth of that time, diners were the center of social life. Many young people preferred these places to meet friends, meet new people, and experience romantic moments. The meetings at these diners, innocent flirtations and first loves, were an integral part of the cultural fabric of the era. The couple's attire in the photo reflects the fashion and style of the 1950s. The girl's elegant dress and the boy's stylish jacket showcase the understanding of elegance among the youth of that time. This moment immortalizes the romance and excitement of youth. Maud Wagner is known as America's first female tattoo artist. At first glance, this photo of Maud Wagner from 1911 seems quite different from the traditional female image of the time. However, this brave woman succeeded in becoming one of the pioneers of tattoo art in America. Maud Wagner's interest in tattoo art began in 1904 when she met tattoo artist Gus Wagner, who would later become her husband. Gus offered to teach her tattooing, and Maud quickly embraced the art. Soon she began tattooing herself and became an important figure in the tattoo world. Maud Wagner stood out not only by tattooing others, but also by the tattoos she carried on her own body. Her legacy played a significant role in the acceptance of tattoo art in today's modern world. This photo shows the destruction on Market Street following the Great Earthquake in San Francisco in 1906. On the morning of April 18, 1906, at 05:12, a powerful earthquake struck San Francisco, followed by fires that turned the city into ruins. The earthquake measured 7.9 in magnitude and claimed over 3,000 lives. The collapsed buildings, people wandering in the streets, and smoke in the air reflect the chaos and destruction of that day. People became homeless and began struggling to survive in the streets. The earthquake not only destroyed buildings but also significantly damaged the city's infrastructure and economy. However, the people of San Francisco managed to rise again after this disaster. The city was rebuilt quickly and regained its modern and dynamic structure. This striking and somewhat creepy photo shows a clown posing with a family in the USA in 1962. Reflecting the entertainment understanding and family activities of the time, this image serves as a symbol of the popular clown costumes and home parties of that era. The clown, dressed in a dark costume with large white spots and heavy makeup, is holding an axe, which today would be considered unusual and disturbing. However, in the early 1960s, such costumes and accessories were quite common, especially during special occasions like Halloween. Family members have different expressions in the photo. Some look surprised, while others appear completely relaxed and cheerful. This photo helps us understand the social dynamics and entertainment perspectives of the era. It also serves as an interesting example of how clowns have been perceived throughout history, and how they have evolved into elements of fear over time. This striking photo captures an exotic dancer defending herself in court. In the image, the dancer is demonstrating her flexibility to prove that her underwear was large enough and that she was not exposing herself. Such cases were common in the 1970s and 1980s in the USA, reflecting a period when dancers and clubs regularly faced police raids and legal actions. The dancer's dramatic defense highlights the challenges faced by those in such professions within the legal system. It also reveals how the justice system operates and can sometimes be absurd. This intriguing and innovative photo reveals a portable television concept developed in 1967. Technology enthusiasts of the time were experimenting with bold and unusual designs to make the television viewing experience portable. This portable TV concept was designed as a device that the user could wear on their head, allowing them to watch television programs on a small screen in front of their eyes. Combining modern art and technology design, this device also demonstrates how creative and experimental approaches were applied in the evolution of technology. An automotive icon is born. This photo reveals the incredible details of the wooden buck used in the production of the first Corvette models. Chevrolet's sports car Corvette, which left its mark on American automotive history, was primarily designed using this wooden buck. In the early 1950s, General Motors engineers and designers meticulously crafted this wooden model to create the sleek and aerodynamic lines of the Corvette. The wooden buck played a critical role in the car production process, allowing designers and engineers to create the molds and parts necessary for final production. This wooden model is not just a technical tool, but also an artistic masterpiece. The natural grain of the wood and the traces of craftsmanship reveal the elegant and powerful design of the car. When the Corvette was released in 1953, it won the admiration of car enthusiasts and critics alike, thanks to the perfection of this model. The gates to a magical world are opening. This photo, taken on Disneyland's opening day, captures that historic moment. On July 17, 1955, Walt Disney's Dream theme park opened its doors to visitors for the first time. Inside the park, there were various thematic areas, character-filled walkways, and entertainment areas equipped with the most advanced technology of the time. The opening day went down in history with over 28,000 people flocking to the park. From that first day, Disneyland became a place visited by millions and where countless memories were made. Described by Walt Disney as the happiest place on earth, this park continues to symbolize joy and entertainment for generations. The cost of courage and justice is embodied in this photo. Taken in 1961, this impactful image shows civil rights activist James Zwerg in a hospital bed after being beaten by a white mob in Alabama. Zwerg was among the Freedom Riders, a courageous group protesting racial segregation laws in the South by bus travel. Zwerg and his companions fought for human rights and equality, but faced great dangers.